We have an update on the foreigner who was threatening Irish children, and it appears, again, this is, I would say, an unsubstantiated report, shall we say, an allegation that this individual has been found by concerned locals and has been used potentially as some boxing equipment, we shall say. Allegedly, speculating on that one, because we don't know. We don't know what's going on. There's no video with regards to this individual. This is what seems to be a picture of an individual on the ground that somewhat matches the description of the person that was making very wild threats here in our country. And I've not seen a nationwide manhunt. I have not seen people in the media nor in politics directly ask for this guy to be found as soon as possible and be ejected from the country as soon as possible, or even worse, maybe even the capital punishment situation. No, I haven't seen any of that. Doesn't seem like they're very interested at all. But if you're what they call a far right influencer or a far right member, they've loads of time to dedicate articles and try and point out who people are and try and harass people for pointing out the truth. But what has happened here, allegedly, speculatively, is a couple of concerned locals seem to have found the perpetrator of those videos. And what a lot of people are speculating online from here on out is they're going to say, well, Ninja, what has happened before is these people seem to be apprehended by the police eventually for their own protection. So, I've seen that happen around the world in different jurisdictions, and it seems to be a common trend that these people that are up to no good seems to be no interest in them, but loads of interest in the natives for pointing out exactly what's going on. We're at a point in time now where people have an all-time low belief in the Gardaí, in the government, in politicians, in the media. And at a point in time that we're coming to right now, it seems as though people are saying to themselves, do you know what? I'm not waiting around. I'm not waiting around for something negative to happen. I'm not waiting around for the next Aisling Murphy. I'm not waiting around for the next number of children that were attacked in broad daylight on Parnell Street in Dublin. I'm not waiting for that. I'm not waiting for the next Mr. Moffat and Mr. Snee, who are no longer with us. I'm not waiting for that. That's where we're at right now. And that is a great shame that has happened right now. Because we had a very prosperous and peaceful society for a very long time. And it has been upended and uprooted and destroyed by politicians, the media, and NGOs. So, this is a result of what they have done, and they will never take accountability for this. They're not going to, and they never will. So the sooner people wake up to that and elect nationalist candidates and have nationalists run this country, the better. Because this is just one individual that's going to be one of many. And just as well this guy was seen and has been spotted, allegedly, especially, because, what else happens here from here on out? Is he just going on? I would even query and question as to if people found him, how come he wasn't hauled to the nearest Garda station? People might make their allegations and they might make their speculative comments and say, well, if he was dealt with a little bit, people are wanting to be left off then. Because people are afraid, and this is where we're coming towards here right now, and I'm just going to explain that comment. People are afraid of dealing with this themselves and then being charged for dealing with that themselves. To put it into context again, this guy verbally threatened Irish children. And people are afraid in this country that they would be treated like a criminal for A, apprehending this guy, and B, giving him a few pucks. What a wild situation that is. Instead, they should be applauded if that happens. If someone brings someone that has made very clear and obvious threats to justice. Now people would say, but that's vigilanteism. You can't be supporting that. But hang on here for a second. When you're looking at people in uniforms that are spending a lot of time, money, resources, being told what to do, forcing people like this into people's communities, like what else? What other option do you give people? I'm waiting to hear it. I'm all ears. And so are the other people that are out there. But there are people now that have just had enough. And there's a lot of people out there that understand why people have had enough. And this is the end result. And listen, I don't think this is just the end result. I think that this is a pending result, because if this guy is now still walking free, what happens? What happens from here on? Is this what these people in the government and media are looking for? Are they looking to scapegoat people and say, well, hang on, you shouldn't be doing these type of things? Because the answer to that is, and people will correctly say, is, well, hang on. What do you mean you're condemning us for doing this? Sure, you would let him in first and foremost, and second of all, you won't apprehend him. So if this happens to him, you're at fault. And if worse happens to him, the people can't be blamed, in my opinion, because this guy has made clear threats. So we're supposed to take his threats as a joke and a laugh and, oh, don't worry about what this guy is saying. But when people are actually making comments that make complete and total sense here, they're being vilified by the media and by politicians and people in the Dáil with their Dáil privilege. That's not right. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure, very importantly, you subscribe to the channel, because that means that more and more people get to see what's going on here in our beautiful little country of Ireland that has been run into the ground by politicians, the media, NGOs and third worlders that should not be here. I'll talk to you later. Good luck.